Hello, Maverick traders. We got 1 day left till January monthly options. This is Rob Reinhold. Let's go ahead and get into it. In this session, we're going to cover what happened today. We'll look at the news. We'll take a look at the broad markets. The question is, did we get a trend change? Or not a trend change, but did we get an upgrade in the scores? We'll take a look at those. And then I've got 3 trades for you, and they're all bulls. They're all bulls. I found plenty of bears out there. But look, this market is knocking on the door for a breakout, and I want to make sure that I am there for it.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional stock and option traders. Maverick Trading is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional trader for Maverick, click the Apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
The market had a pretty good up day today. You can see the Dow Jones up 0.5%, S&P almost up 1%, Qs 1.35%. Now, why were the Qs so strong? Well, we got a upgrade. Bank of America came out and upgraded Apple to a buy, also with some semiconductors, and that sector took off. That sector took off quite a bit, and you can see that the Nasdaq, again, was the best performer for the day. The Russell was lagging behind. We've seen that Russell lag. That's no surprise whatsoever. Oil up 189, gold up. Generally an update, and if we take a look at the advanced decline line, it was almost 2-to-1 advanced decline line. And we have 2 out of 3 stocks above their 50-day moving average. That's a very, very strong market. I also want to talk about this March rate cut. A couple of weeks ago, it was 80%. It's now 56%. I don't think we get any rate cut. The economy's doing great. I don't see why the Fed would cut rates. And I think the market's starting to come around. So we are seeing interest rates creep up in the 10-year bond. We're now up to about 4.15, and that did put some pressure on the real estate and utility sectors. But outside of that, let's take a look at the charts, because this is just, and I've used this term before, straight up bullish. It's really fun because over the past 25 years as a trader, I've got trader friends and we talk, and I've got our traders at Maverick as a sounding board. But really about a year or two ago, I started to go out and do a couple online projects and start to post some stuff online for the first time in years. And the comments I get are really funny. And I made a call that this market was going to break out, and some guy's like, I'm assuming it's a guy. Sorry, we can just assume that. But some guy's like, that's a bold call. That's a bold call. I think it's too high, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, once you give your life over to technical analysis, then there's no need to doubt. You can have faith. Now, it was tongue-in-cheek as an online comment, but I thought about it, and I really thought about how years and years ago, I would have let my thoughts and my feelings and all my biases come in, and when the chart is clearly bullish, I would find reasons to doubt it. And once I gave my life over to technical analysis and just had faith that it was going to work, my trading got better. It doesn't mean I made money on every trade, but what happened was I became much more robotic, much more systematic, and it was much easier to follow my rules because I was no longer allowing those things to come in. I just wanted to share that with you because I think we all struggle with that, and we all want to get to the point where we truly are trading systematic and just trust in the charts. This is a high base. What do high bases do most of the time? They break out. Are we going to break out tomorrow? I don't know. But for everything I know about technical analysis, we should see a breakout tomorrow. Next up is the Nasdaq. Same thing. We had this tiny little pullback. We had a hammer candle. Again, this is all happening like right at resistance. This is like a perfect storm for a breakout. Everything is saying breakout. Every single thing. And yet some people will find a way to say, well, it's not this, it's not that. Look, it might not be, but proper technicals say we're breaking out tomorrow. So we'll see. Here is the heat map, and you can see there was a whole lot of green. We did get some ugliness out of some of the healthcare plans. We did have some companies that had not so great earnings. You can see a big solid bit of red there. Energy is still weak. and I mentioned real estate and utilities were very weak. Outside of that, it really wasn't a lot of red. Lots and lots of green. This is a pretty broad rally across the board. Let's update our outlook. Well, the outlook is the same. We're to +3. We're to +3. This is just a straight up bull market, a straight up high base. Look, I'm sorry if you're bearish. I'm sorry if you've been fighting this. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Look, this breakout might fail, and it might fail spectacularly. It might. But I'm telling you, of all the high bases I've seen in my life, most of the time I've been very, very happy that I just follow technicals and not my personal opinion. So let's get into some trades. I've got 3 trades here today. They are all bulls. I don't like to be a shill. I'm not being a shill for the market, because if I was a shill, I would want to be a paid shill, where I got paid to go onto CNBC and try to pump up stocks. I guess this week I'm just a shill, not being paid, but let's go take a look at those trades. All right, first off, I'm going to look at Liberty. Now, this is a new symbol. I think this used to be the LBTYQ. This is the old symbol. They changed the symbol, so it's LSXMK, but it's Liberty Media. And you can see that Liberty Media has just been on an uptrend, basing, uptrend, basing. Look at this breakout. I actually found this trade when I was doing a quick little video for somebody on how to use the FinViz screener. And I came across this trade. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a great trade. I need to take a look at it. So as you can see, a clear breakout to the upside, 31.32. Vertical spread, really easy call on this one. If you want to do something else, a diagonal, something, you guys know how to make the trade, but this trade setup looks really, really nice. Next up is Gilead, G-I-L-D. This is in the healthcare sector, and look at these candles. I just love when a stock does this. It is like so clear that there's just green candles. Yes, it's spacing. I know it's not going anywhere, but every day it gaps down and then runs to its high, and then it gaps down and runs to the high, and then it gaps down and runs to the high. It is telling you that people want to get in this thing. This is not allowed to pull back at all. I think we see a breakout. I could see this up to 90, but to be safe, maybe you do like an 86.88. 86.88, be a little bit less aggressive here, but I think if you want to go up to 90, giving it enough time, I don't see any reason why you can't do that. And then last one in tech or comm services, technically speaking, this is Google. I had both Meta and Google. Now look, I don't just ever trade a stock. Like I don't just say, you know what, I'm going to trade Tesla, or I'm watching Tesla and Tesla's doing this, so now I'm going to trade it. I don't have a watch list anymore. I threw it away. Scanners. I say, okay, I want a bullish scan. I want a certain type of scan. And if it gives me Google, Meta, or Tesla on the scan, I'll trade it. But I am not looking to trade these. It's very common for amateur traders just to have their stocks that they trade and they watch. Now look, it doesn't matter. It's a ticker symbol and it's a price. That's it. But this ticker symbol and this price looks pretty dang good with this little hammer here, a nice confirmation candle right at a resistance point. To me, this one looks good. I'm going to give it a target all the way up to 148. 148 on the target. So let's take a look at our trades. 148, 144, 148 vertical spread. You're going to pay probably about $1.60 for this. So, you know, it's going to be a nice, I guess that'd be 32 delta on it. So 68% of the spread for your profit. You could take a look at doing diagonals. There's a lot of good things here you can do on these higher price stocks because there's lots of strikes available. So let's talk about tomorrow. I was pretty clear I think there's a breakout tomorrow. I could be wrong. It is options expiration, but what we've seen in the past is that Wednesday is kind of like the peak volatility going into, this is a quad witching. This is quad witching where, you know, futures options, index options, stock options, and what the other option is, they're all expiring. Typically that peaks on Wednesday, and we did see pretty much Wednesday volatility, and then today was a nice day. I do think we break out tomorrow. It couldn't, there's very big chance that it could not, but look, even if it doesn't break out tomorrow, we have spent about a month of time up here. Remember that long high base. We've tested the bottom range twice. We've spent enough time in here that I think it's got enough energy to break out. Last week, I actually made the prediction that we have to build a little bit more time and energy before we break out. Here we are. We're there. I don't see any reason why it's not tomorrow. I don't care if it's tomorrow, because if it's not tomorrow, it's likely next week. Check your economic reports. Nothing all that big. Earnings report is really just the banks and Schlumberger in the oil and gas sector. But that's it. We will see what happens tomorrow. I will update you on the trading room. Everyone have a great day. Goodbye, everyone.